to 8. And it was from my hard work and all the people campaigning for me and really going right to the people, not taking anything for granted. And that's what I hold with me now. I take nothing for granted. I talk to everybody I can have a conversation with. It's hard to knock on every door when you're running for Congress. I ran statewide, but I served in the legislature for 4 years, and I helped not only the president become the senator, but also Alexi Janulius become the next state treasurer. And to my shock, he asked me to be his chief of staff. And once again, no, I can't do it. I just won for the 3rd time. No one ran against me in the primary to general. I thought I had arrived finally, so why would I give that up? And there was more to do. But he worked on me for 3 weeks, and to be honest, I cried every day for 3 weeks because I love my district so much. But his mother called me from Greece, and don't tell Mrs. G no. And she said, please, please, please. So I actually took another leap of faith, gave up my seat, and served as his chief of staff for 4 years. And as most of you probably know, Barack became the president. He ran for Senate, and I ran to take his job in the treasurer's race, and I ran statewide. And even though I overwhelmingly won the primary, I lost in the general election. And that's why you do have to be willing to lose, and if you want to run again, stand up and run again when you feel there's an opportunity for you. I left there and became the chief administrative officer and served there for 2 years, and then this opportunity came up. And again, I thought about it a long time because I had to depend on my husband since I wasn't going to have a job for 5 months, and we did have bills to pay and those kind of things, but decided to take another leap of faith. If you were following, I ran against 16 other Democrats. There were 5 Republicans, 1 Green Party, and 2 independents in the race. But at the end of the day, in the primary, stayed focused. There were a lot of naysayers. I was actually considered to be quite the underdog, and but I stayed focused. Many times I hear, I'm sure women hear this, you're too nice, you're too nice. When I first ran, that's what people said, they'll chew you up and spit you out. But actually, Congressman Jackson gave me my best political advice. He said, don't get too high, don't get too low, stay focused, don't look sideways, because that stops you from moving forward. And that's what I did. I always had to put my campaign armor on and just go forward. And that's what I've carried with me through all of my campaigns. Just stay focused on the end game. And the other thing I told the gentleman and anyone that's worked with me through my campaigns, at the end of the day, when I'm just Robin, I have to be able to look at myself in the mirror and be proud of myself. So I've never been negative. I talked about the issues or a voting record, but never attacked the person, because I just don't believe in that, and I feel that the public is sick of that also. They want to know, what have you done, what are you doing now, and what do you want to do, not all the negative campaigning, even though unfortunately oftentimes it seems to work. And I would encourage, I'm in a Congress where there's only 78 women out of 435 men, and most of them are on the Democratic side. I don't know if there's even 10 Republican women. And like the Illinois legislature, and I will say in Congress, for the most part, it's the women that hang together. The Democrats and the Republicans, Senate, House, we just had a softball game against the female media, but the men have it, the Democratic men against the Republican men. And in the Illinois House, it was the same way. The Women's Caucus passed the most bills. We didn't agree on everything. There were some things, as you can imagine, we didn't talk about, but what we could do together, we did together. And who won the game? The Democrats won the game with the men, I think 22-0, and the female media won the game. They're so much younger than us.
They always win the game.
Right. I know we came close, so it's better. But I would encourage, if you want to run, they said women don't run because they're not asked, so I'm asking you to run. You don't have to run for Congress. You can run for the library board, municipal office, school board. Is so very important, because as I've learned, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. And we don't want to be on the menu. And even if you, oftentimes women think they don't have the credentials to run. And I thought about that, like I'm not as smart, I don't know this, but you can learn, you can find out who you can learn from. And we need diversity, because as I've learned from new leadership at Rutgers University, who benefits when women serve? We all do. So thank you.